Despite some serious concerns, Senate President Bill Ferguson is standing by his proposal. I pressed him today asking where he's getting his crime information and data from and if he's okay with some businesses potentially closing as a consequence from his plan. Baltimore's block. Some strip clubs and some stores steps away from Baltimore City Police headquarters and the center of an Annapolis argument.
As the senator representing the 46th Legislative District.
Senate President Bill Ferguson also hails from the area in Baltimore, pushing the plan to close the block at 10 p.m., citing data that itself has been called into question.
The reason the police aren't able to patrol your neighborhood, the reason that they can't respond as quickly, is because half of everyone that is assigned is being put on a 2-block area.
Ferguson says more than 800 calls were made to police last year on the block, but Fox 45 News investigations found much lower numbers, just 65 calls, with 9 for robberies, 2 shootings, 2 cuttings, and 1/3 of those coming after 10 p.m. That's when Ferguson wants to tell these businesses, lights out.
Where did you get that information from?
This was information from the BPD. The majority of the crimes are happening when half of the police department for the Central District is deployed in that concentrated area.
The leader of the Senate says the spark for the closure call came after meeting with BPD.
This bill, this tool for this specific problem, is meant to make it very clear that those who are creating a concentration, an environment of concentrated violence, need to be a part of the solution.
Pushing back on the plan coming from a variety of sources, rallies against the proposal, and business owners themselves.
I think it's completely outrageous.
When you talk about closing like the strip clubs at 10 p.m., that essentially means they'll probably have to go out of business.
Look, there are many reasons to put a bill into the legislature. In this case, there was not a clear method moving forward of how we were going to deal with this very concentrated violence that took half of the police department personnel from a single district.
I mean, are you okay with those businesses closing permanently if that's what ends up happening?
What I'm not okay with is the level of violence that continuously happens in a concentrated area and that has escalated over the last year.
While the block is in the Central District of Police, other areas have seen much higher levels of violence, including this year. 34 people killed in 2022, none in the Central District.
The Central District isn't as violent as other areas, though. So I guess
violence everywhere is a problem.
Where are the bills for that?
We will have a suite, a package of bills. In fact, we've had many conversations with the governor.
Details for a comprehensive plan from the Democrats have yet to be introduced. Ferguson keeps coming back to the number of officers the Central District is sending and deploying to the block. I asked him if that's really an issue of staffing within BPD rather than an issue with these specific businesses. He says staffing is a problem for Baltimore police, but again, standing by his proposal. So far, a hearing date has not been scheduled for this legislation, and Ferguson says that he's willing to meet with anyone, including business owners, if they want to talk about meaningful change for this plan. In Baltimore, Mackenzie Frost, Fox 45 News.